Hello, my name is Madeline Balaam, and I'm here today to present our project, Mid-Sized Haptic Interactions for Autonomous Vehicles. This work is a collaborative project between myself and Dr. Anna Stahl, who is based at RISE. We're working together over the next 2 years on this demonstrator project to really explore and demonstrate what are the potential for shape-changing and shape-shifting interactions within autonomous and semi-autonomous vehicles. We're particularly interested in the car seat, the driving seat, and the passenger seat as a new potential place where experiences and information might be conveyed to a driver or a passenger, not through words or sounds or visuals, but through touch sensations down the back, under the bottom, and along the thighs, and maybe on the across the chest using a seatbelt. So this 2-year project is really affording me and Anna Stahl the opportunity to explore what the potential is for this new kind of technology within cars and what kinds of experiences can we create. So this project began in July and we're only a few months in. And at the moment the project team is made up of myself and Anna Stahl. Anna Stahl is an industrial designer and she brings a wealth of experience in soma design, designing with the whole body, the whole somatic body, which involves the physical sensations of the body, the emotional experiences of the body, as well as all the thoughts that might go along with a particular interaction. And I bring in expertise in designing for the intimate body and for intimate touch. I think this is particularly relevant for this project because we're thinking about the car seat and the kinds of places that the car seat might touch. It's not just the shoulders or the hands or what we might consider relatively safe and, dare I say, easy places for technology to touch. But we're also thinking about touching parts of the body that are more intimate, maybe more difficult to touch in an appropriate way. For example, the lower back, the bottom, the upper thigh. Those are all parts of the body that we're not really used to technology touching. And so we have to really be particularly concerned with how to touch those parts of the body in a way that is appropriate, dignified, and makes sense for the driver or the passenger. And we have written a scenario to help illustrate the kinds of interactions that we're thinking might work within the car seat. So your self-driving car is driving you. You have taken up the opportunity to rest for a bit, lowered the seat, and you are somewhere between sleep and awake. The car approaches a city and you need to take over. Slowly, the inclination of the seat changes to a more upright position. The seat pushes your lower back forward and your shoulders move backwards. Your head and neck are moved into a more upright position. The seat changes your slouching posture into an alert one. The seat now makes firmer and faster movements, making it less comfortable for you. You put your hands on the steering wheel and squeeze it to let the car know that you are taking over. With that scenario in mind, then, we have 3 main objectives for this project. The first is to really try and understand what are the experiential affordances of touch when using mid-sized haptics within seated interactions. So here we're really trying to figure out what are the kinds of things we might be able to communicate to a driver. Our second then is to combine different types of haptic experiences into one or maybe several concrete ideas for how the car seat might move in order to re-engage or disengage a driver when they're driving. And the final is to create a prototype that we are able to demonstrate and exhibit at both the Digital Futures Hub at KTH, but also maybe some more public-facing exhibition spaces so that we can engage other academics and general public in discussions about what car seats might be like in the future. So we can connect the work that we're doing within this project to a number of different research areas within the field of human-computer interaction, automobile research, and interaction design research more generally. Within the automobile industry and research connected to it, we find that there is, of course, a wealth of knowledge and data regarding how to communicate information effectively to a driver as they're driving. And we find that there have been many studies and experiments undertaken examining the effects of auditory cues or visual cues within the driving situation in order to provide timely knowledge to the driver so that they can react to the road ahead. What much of this research suggests is that the visual and audio pathways provide a limited pathway through which to convey information to the driver, and that the car and the displays within the car can quickly become overwhelming and distracting to the driver in ways which can lead to mistakes whilst driving. And that's clearly something that most of us would like to avoid. And so with this project, what we hope we can offer to the automobile industry and the research connected with this industry is a new interaction paradigm, a new type of place within the car seat where experiences can be created and maybe even information transferred to a driver in a way that doesn't overwhelm them and distract them, and is at the same time perhaps pleasurable or compelling experience to have while in the car. We also contribute to the field of human-computer interaction through this research. Haptic technologies have been widely explored in this field, and on the whole, the focus of the technologies that are created are on the hands. So there's many research agendas that are looking at sensory and actuation materials that can be made tiny and placed in gloves or around the hands in order to provide new ways of interacting, particularly within virtual reality and augmented reality environments. We also see that there's a growing amount of research looking at larger sized kinesthetic interactions and haptic interactions embedded within furniture. And to this, we want to offer this concept of mid-sized haptic interactions, where we're thinking about and exploring and experimenting with technologies that allow us to actuate on larger parts of the body. So within this agenda, then we're not so concerned with making things tiny or making things very light and easy to wear, because we're imagining that much of the technology is going to be embedded in the furniture within the car seat. And instead, we're asking ourselves, what kinds of information, what kinds of experiences might be communicated to a driver in this certain situation? And finally, to both these spaces, we're offering an opportunity to explore how Soma design might enable us to create compelling and interesting interactions within the space of the car. So far, we have seen Soma design, this approach to design that engages with the whole body, the whole somatic person. We've seen this applied to areas like relaxation, breathing awareness, and other kinds of bodily awareness activities, but we haven't seen this really applied in a setting of a car, or really in a sort of an everyday setting like driving the car. So with this project, then, we hope to be able to show the value that Soma design can also bring to these other more kind of everyday activities that we find ourselves doing, and how Soma design as a whole can help us to create aesthetic and beautiful experiences in all kinds of places, and not just when we're able to take time out for ourselves and relax. So progress so far. As we began this project in July, and Volvo very kindly have given us a car to experiment on over the next few months. They have given us permission to take apart the passenger seat in this car and embed some prototype materials and technologies in order to really explore what mid-size haptics might give to the driving experience. We've also been working together with two master's students who've been helping us to explore this space further. They've been doing over the summer studies of their backs and where their backs touch, where their backs touch a car seat, in order to be able to understand where they might best place actuation devices within the car seat to produce what kinds of effects. And then from that study, they have started to produce what we would call right now a kind of prototyping toolkit, a toolkit that we can bring to a workshop at Volvo later next month to start to co-produce with them some starter experiences that make use of this mid-sized haptics technologies within a car seat. So thank you very much for your attention, and we look forward to sharing more outcomes from this project in the future.